Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing a marathon build of the IXO Collection's build of the Renault Alpine, and you can see that's here. I've got the the main car here and the bodywork upside down on the mat with our Part Work Upgrades mat. It's this that we're going to be working on today. We're going to be doing boxes 18 and 19. So I think it's all about this bodywork today, and we're going to be adding some details to that. I know we're going to be starting with the headliner, so that's going to be fun. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here to the IXO Collection's website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. You may also notice some new things in the workshop, and I've had to have a move around. More about that to come in the next couple of weeks, but very exciting times in the world of Wayne Workshop. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. So I will keep the mat down because we are going to be doing a lot of work on that bodywork today, but this is pack 18. We do have all the instructions in French. The English instructions are online on the IXO website, and as I said, we've got the headliner here, and we've also got some of the hinges just for the windows, the little triangular windows there, and the details that go on the other side just here, and then we're going to put the headliner in. So I will keep this upside down here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be taking these little hinges that are going to go onto these quarter light windows here. Now they just push in. So they're going to go in here and push in just like that. Perfect. Now to hold that in from the other side here, we have the most tiniest little plug that's going to go on the other side to stop this coming out. Now this is tilted in a particular way, so it's going to be quite hard just to get that in. It's such a small piece. But there you go. That is into position. And that locks that into place just like that. Going to do the same on the other side. And as you can see, they're both in place there and there. All that's left then to do is to put the headlining in. That looks just like this. It's going to go in this way. So it should look like that from the back. And then we're going to secure these in with screws that come in this one, which are AGM screws. Got some oil on these screws here, and I'm just going to get them in nice and tight. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Now I'll keep the car there because, as you can see in the instructions here, we're then going to be doing the sun visors in the next two stages, which I'm going to pair together. We're doing the left, and then as you can see, I'll turn again, we're going to be doing the right hand side one. So I will do both of these stages together. So all I'm going to do is take the rod, and I'm also going to be taking the bracket. It's going to go on this way onto this rod, and then quite simply this rod is going to go onto the sun visor just like that there. And all we need to do is put the bracket over this end here like that, and it's going to fit over the hole just there like that. We're holding that in with NP screws. Now I am using my small screwdriver here. Once you've got one in, it should be easier to get all the rest of these in. That's the second one. Oh, this is quite hard actually. And here's the third one. Getting the last one in is the easiest. But tighten all these up. And there you go. That's the first sun visor in place. And as I said, I'll continue straight on to the next stage and put the other one in place as well. This one's gone in a lot easier for some reason. No idea why. And there you go. That's both of those in place, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So that means the last stage of this pack, we're just going to be doing the rear view mirror, putting this together, and then mounting this to the inside of the vehicle just like that. Again, very tiny sections on this one. First thing I'm going to be doing is putting this little ball joint into the back of the reflector of the mirror here. Might need my tweezers just to help negotiate that round. There you go, that sits in just like that. Now the instructions don't tell you to do this, but I'm going to put a tiniest bit of glue just on the edge at the top here and the bottom here, making sure I'm not touching that ball that I've just put in there. because I've got a little plate to put in, which is going to hold that ball joint in place. Like this. Perfect. And then this whole thing, I'll just lay that down, is going to be held in with the adhesive on the back of this mirror here. Make sure this is the right way around. And put this over the top. Now there is protection on this mirror to make sure it doesn't get marked. I'm just going to push that into place. As you can see, the ball joint is now still out the other side there. Just give that a good setting because I've got glue in there as well. But remember, that glue is not impeding that ball joint. That's something I've done myself. I will keep the protection on that because I don't want to get this mirror smudged. There is like a little layer of protection on there. All I've got to do then is take the pivot arm for the mirror, which is going to look just like this. It's going to go onto this base here. And then this is going to go into the back of the mirror. Like that. Now I need 2 MP screws which are in here. This is going to be fun. These MP screws, if I just lay them here, are tinier than the ones we just used. So I am going to use that tiny screwdriver again. Now obviously the mirror faces towards the rear of the car. I think what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to try and be clever. I'm actually just going to try and put the bracket in on its own first. And then put the mirror in afterwards. Let's see how this goes. Now, if you've watched this channel long enough, normally me going off-piste and doing my own thing leads to issues. But I'm pretty confident this is going to work. Because I've got that bracket in now. I haven't made it too tight because I just need to orientate that arm to where it's got to go. Like that. Excellent. Then I can tighten it up. Now, I don't want to impede the ball joint that's behind the mirror, but I am just going to put a tiniest bit of glue just on the tip of that arm and putting this into position. So the flat side of this should be facing towards the headliner. Perfect. That's excellent. So now this mirror not only pivots on that base there, but it also pivots on the mirror side as well. So you can direct this how you want. But that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So we're going to now move on to pack 19. So let's see how we're going to be starting pack 19. A big magazine again. We're going to be doing... these look like some vent pieces here. I'm not quite sure. This is for the back of the bodywork here. So I'm going to be mounting these vents onto the vehicle. Screwing these into place. So it's looking just like that. So here are stage 73 parts all here. So we're going to be putting these vents into place. So one is going this side. This is unable to go in any other way. So they go in here, whether you like it or not. So they look like that at the back. Then I'm going to turn them over. They should keep themselves in place. Perfect. And I'm going to hold them in with an AP screw just into the holes just here. So, one here, that's going to keep that side in. Perfect. And one just on the other side here. I didn't realise it actually takes 2 AP screws. So we've got one at the back on each side as well. Okay, turn this over. I will have it this way round this time because we're just going to be putting these vents on. And they're going to follow the contour of the back here. So we're going to have one just going on like this. And the other one's going to go on the other side, just like this here. These are held in with screws. Again, these are these tiny screws. They are going into metal, even though they're tiny. So I have dopped them in a little bit of oil. Make sure you got the right side on. And let's get these in. So it takes 2 of these screws each side. Quite a tricky thing to put on these are, getting all of these 4 screws lined up. But they are on, and that's the first vent done. Going to do the same on the other side. And as I said, that's not the easiest thing to line up. I have screwed them in lightly now, so I can tighten these up. but you are relying on these screws to bend this to conform to the shape of the bodywork. So do make sure you put all 4 of these screws in really loose first, and then do what I'm doing here to tighten them all up, so then that does conform to make a perfect vent around the back. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 74 here, looks like we've got the back lenses to create, and I need to disconnect lead D, which looks like that. It's got a short wire and a long wire for the rear lights. Now the long wire is going to be going on this side, the short wire on this side. So if I turn it round, that gets reversed. So I want the long wire coming out that side and the short wire coming out that side. So again, when I turn this back round, as you can see, it's on the correct side. Now it's quite simple just to put this lens in. This is looking like this. I'm probably going to do both of these stages together because you can guess what the next stage is going to be. We're just going to push that in like that there. Take the bulb and push that into the end like that, and then just feed this into place where it's going to go. Just like that. Turn it over, and it's held in with an ABP screw. Now that screw, if you can just see here, is just going into this hole just here. So as long as everything's lined up, there we go. That's into position like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage there. This is what it looks like on the car. And you can see the reason now why I've batched these parts together, because we're just doing exactly the same on the other side. So if you have a look on the side camera here, I'm just going to put this fascia on here like this, put the bulb in there, put it onto position on the back of the car, and then once again one of these ABP screws to hold that into place just there. Don't over tighten this. As soon as you feel tightness, stop. That'll be enough to hold that in. And that is the end of those 2 stages. So in the last stage of this pack, as you see here, we've got a fan here. So I don't know what we're actually creating now. Are we starting on the cooling system? We may well be. As you can see, we're going to be putting this together. I don't know what this is. I really wish that someone's going to tell me in the comments exactly what this is. But it's a very quick stage. We're just putting this fan into the back of the car. I never claim to know what any of these is. From the position of the car where it's going on the ducts of the vehicle, I'm guessing the fan's used to draw and pull in air onto the engine. I'm hoping that's what it's for. Because you've got to remember, on this build, the engine's in the back of the car. Okay, let's get these parts out. And the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this spindle onto the fan. So this is just going to go into the end here. And it's going to be held in with a screw on the other side, which is an NP screw. So, got that here, very tiny screw. And get that spindle screwed in. This spindle now, which is a D-shaped pattern, is just going to feed into this outer case here. Whoops, get that in. I can't believe how hard that was, but that's in there like that. Bring the car over. And this is just going to be going onto this side here. So it's going to go over there. Just realised that we don't actually put an AP screw in here. Let's take that out, because this is going to go over the top of there. And it's secured in with a UP screw in that hole, which I filled up with the AP screw. See? I make mistakes, so you don't have to. Did I say AP? I meant UP screw. It's a UP screw going in there. And there you go, that's in nice and tight. Onto that position there. All that's left to do then is I want to tidy the wire up here that's going to the other side. So we have got some adhesive strips here, which I'll just take some of these out. And this is going to stop it pinching when I put the car together. So I'll put one in here, just like that. And one just on the other side over here. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Needless to say, I'm going to put the car back together. and I will just put this on top. So it looks pretty fabulous. Look at that. That was a great 2 packs. Very quick packs, but I'm glad we've done them both together. If you like what you see, you want to get this for yourself, once again, I have put a link down here to the IXO Collections website, but I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.